Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the besieging process in Bannerlord. So this is pretty much the process before you actually go in and actually fight kind of in the siege with your character. It's pretty much this process right over here, right? Besiege the castle, this right over here. So I'm going to pretty much show you a couple things that I like to do, my go-to in terms of like how I like to build, and then what I like to do and how I like to pretty much minimize my losses as much as possible, right? Because in sieges, you're going to lose troops regardless of how you do it, right? So let's do it, right? So this technically right now, in this situation, this war, I'm beating the battalions pretty well. So I do have the advantage, so I have time to actually, and I have the food advantage as well. That's another cool thing that you can see at the top is how much food you have and how many days you can last and outlast your enemy. As you can see, this castle only has 13 days left before they start starving. What happens when they start starving? Their morale goes down, they get wounded, some of them die, some of them desert. Therefore, a lot of them will not be here, and this 400 will go down drastically after these 13 days. But also, building some siege, or ballistas, onagers, or trebuchets does help dramatically, and that is something that we are going to do. Because one thing that you might not have known is if you go into a siege right away without actually preparing anything, let's just have this preparing as we're talking. If you just go in bare bones, nothing built, and they have everything built, you have to understand once you go into the siege phase where you actually fight, all these ballistas that are built right here are going to be in use when you actually start your siege. And ballistas, while they're not very good in this phase of the siege, if you let them actually go into the actual where you're fighting as a character, they will have a lot of kills. Ballistas are very, very good when it comes to actually like a battle scenario. They're just not very good in like this I guess you could call it screen or scene, whatever you want to call it, right? So what do I do? So after you start building your siege camp, right, once this is finished, right, we have all this set up. Now you can build, right? So there's a couple spots. There's 4 spots always in the front for you to build your pretty much your offense, right? And there's 3 spots in the back. 2 are siege towers, and 1 is a battering ram. Now, if I have the time to do everything, which I'm going to show you right now, here's how I like to build. So first, I like to build trebuchets. I think they're the best out of everything. They have like a small chance to instantly destroy the opposing sides, like, you know what I mean, like weapons. So it's really good. It takes longer to build, but if you have the time for it, it's just so good, right? So I like to queue up 4 of these, right, just like that. Now they do take some time to build. What I like to do is right after it's built, I like to put it back into the reserve, because that saves it so it doesn't have to fight 1v4 right now, right? So let's wait. We're gonna pause it. We're gonna click on it, left click, and then move to reserve. Boom. They're still gonna get some shots on it. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. It's all right. Alrighty, and I could queue these up as well because I do want these. They make it significantly easier. If you didn't know, the ram goes to the main gates. The siege towers replace the ladders that are there if you go without the siege towers on the walls, right? Alrighty. Boom, got another one. Move it to reserve. As you can see, we got 10 more days until they start starving, and still no one is attacking us. Make sure you get some more cohesion always. Sometimes you forget about it and your whole army just, disappears on you. You hate to see it, so make sure you watch out for the cohesion as well. Alright, let's pause it, move to reserve. But again, for example, let's say you're doing this process, any part of this process, if you see a huge army coming towards you and the odds are still in your favor, just go into the siege. Press leading assault, okay? So don't worry about it. If you don't get to all the way to the end step, if you see a huge army, or if I see a huge army even during this tutorial that I'm trying to do, then guess what? I'm going to go to the battle, because that's what you're supposed to do, because it gives you a better chance of survival, and you can actually go into the castle after you win. You know what I mean? So always keep that in mind. Boom, move to reserve. Alright, now we have all 4 moved to reserve. What do we want to do? Now we want to actually engage all 4. What I do suggest also, if you are attacking a very, very huge town, you might want to build a row of onagers and do the same thing as the trebuchets, put them to reserve, and then put the trebuchets out. So you can have a quick replacement if something breaks. I'm not doing it for this case because all they have is 4 ballistas, which is very, very easy, and it's just a castle. But if you're facing a larger target and they, let's say for example, have catapults and trebuchets, you're going to take losses. And if you want to take significantly less losses, before you build the back area, the 2 battering, the battering ram and the 2 siege towers, build a line of onagers as well, right? But for this reason, we don't. For this case, we don't really need it. So we're gonna put out the 4 trebuchets and we're gonna start it, and we pretty much should win. 4 trebuchets versus 4 ballistas, very easy. As you can see, they don't do that much damage towards us, and as you can see, we just take them out very easily. All right. Now our back line is being built, and as you can see, every time we take out one of these weapons, their troops do go down. Not significantly, but just a little bit, little by little. As you can see, every time we take out one of these weapons, they're going to continuously keep building them. And what we're looking for, well, one thing we are looking for. So I built these as a precaution, the siege towers, right? If we didn't break these 2 walls. So the walls on the enemy fortifications, they're targeted once the weapons are down. Now, if you manage to completely break the walls, you're going to have a huge advantage on the actual fighting part of the scene because it's so much easier. You don't have to climb anything. You don't have to expose yourself. You go straight in because there's a huge hole in the walls, right? So if these walls do break, these siege towers won't even spawn, but you build it just as a precaution. And I'm pretty sure the battle ram still spawns, but doesn't even really, you don't really even need it. You might not even want to spawn it in if these 2 walls are broken, right? But again, if a huge army comes and you got to do it, you got to do what you got to do, you know? Alrighty, as you can see, it's very easy. And I also, if I can, I'm also going to try to wait the 7 days to kind of lower the numbers by starving them out as well to show you, you know, the advantages of doing so, right? But as you can see, players are starting to form around here. So they're going to want to start attacking me soon. So I might have to go before I can actually, you know what I mean, starve them out. We'll see. As you can see, they're starting to circle. When you see a lot of smaller guys circle, that means there's an army that could possibly be approaching, and they're just kind of waiting for the army to come so they can all go together. So just be careful of that. If you see too many of them going around, especially if they like stand around in this like little circle around you, that's probably what's happening. So as you can see, we broke both the walls very easy. Alrighty, and now we're just waiting for them to starve out. So what you can do is, you can see this one's getting low, move it to reserve, build a onager, has more HP, and it's fine. And then we're going to move this one to reserve as well very soon. If it gets super low. There we go, move it to reserve. Actually, no, we didn't want to do that. Build another onager. As you can see, we're doing very good. We have 4 more days left. Still nothing too significant coming around us. Cohesion, always make sure. There we go, and it's looking very good for us. As you can see, they're going to continuously build weapons, but it's just going to continuously bring them down, right? And if all weapons were to die, we would lose some of our numbers as well. So it's also good to move them to reserve and kind of switch them out for that reason. Alright, we got 3 more days, 3 more days. Still good, still good. They are building an army, though, as you can see. We're getting to big numbers here. They were like at 17, 18. Now they're at, as you can see, okay. They're coming very, very soon. Yeah, they're coming very, very soon. We're 2 days away from them actually starting to starve. And the morale goes down. The morale is very important, too, for the actual battle itself. As you can see, we're just fighting. They still haven't really killed anything of mine. Very easy. Both of these are red. I'll just switch out for a trebuchet in the red. One day left, and then their numbers are going to start dropping significantly for us. Alright, alright. Yes, sir. As you can see, we went down like, what, 50 at this point? Pretty good. Alright, let's put another one out there. We lost a little bit because we lost the trebuchet, but again, not that big of a deal. And as you can see, oh, there it is, 0 days. As you can see, they're starting to lose numbers. They're starting to lose numbers. Boom, another 16, just gone. and you could really starve them out for a very long time. Yeah, it's this simple. As you can see, this battle is going to be literally one of the easiest things. To be honest, we can even send troops on this. This is like a, you know what I mean, and one of the easiest wins you can really do. It's not going to happen every time, but this is like the perfect scenario. You know what I mean? This is like the perfect scenario. Now, how do you achieve this scenario? Plenty of ways you could do it. If you get into a lot of major fights, before you want to do one of these type of sieges, make sure you imprison them into like a city. Don't sell them off, because then they're just going to come back with another army. Try to imprison as many people as you want. I wouldn't suggest executing them. It does give you a lot of relationship loss with a lot of people. Some people you might be friends with, therefore ruining that. So that's not the best way to do it. Imprison a lot of them right beforehand. And also make sure you have a lot of clans around. If you need more clans, then you can make clans out of your companions. Make sure you have a lot of clans, because the more clans you have and the higher tier clans that you have, make sure you recruit some high tier clans as well. But you know, make sure there's other armies, not just yours. Make sure there's other big targets being hit at the same time that you're hitting your targets, so they have to choose. And if you still have, you know, as you can see, I have a huge advantage here. They probably won't even come here. They'll just take the loss and they'll go to one of the smaller armies that they know they can win. That's, you know, also my army somewhere else roaming around. So it's kind of like a distraction, right? Just so you can get this pretty much scenario. As you can see, we've halved their what do you call it, population in this castle. And literally, if we just keep waiting, everything will be gone. Literally, everything will just be gone. There it is. Boom. And now I'm just gonna go in, because we could kind of keep waiting, keep making it go down. As you can see, the morale's at 18. They have no. It's over. Send troops. This is like. Even with sending troops, I've only lost 31 men with sending troops, which is like nothing for a siege. You know what I mean? Absolutely nothing. Near perfect siege. And if you were to actually go into the siege and that, you're probably losing even less men. But you know, it is what it is. I'm making the video, so I'm trying to show it off to you, right? And that's pretty much it. Very easy. You got it. Boom, boom, boom. I like to always show mercy. It's very good. There's obviously, you know, certain advantages, but I think show mercy is the best, especially if you want to take good care of your fiefs. Boom. Alright. And it just gives you a party morale, which is like, you know, you can get your morale back up. It's very easy to get your morale back up. So, yep, there it is. You go. Some relationship thing. They'll be alright. It's okay. And there it is. Look at that number. Wow, that's crazy. Alrighty, boys. I will see you guys in the next one.